We now return to Let's Play the Banner Saga. We're starving already. Let's talk to Egil. How's the arm, Egil? You find Egil just outside the camp, practicing his sword swings. I saw you taking some hard hits out there. Oh, yeah, I'm great. Not great, considering everything that's... I'm fine. My arm's fine. It's a strong shield. It's Rook, right? I know we haven't talked much before now. But if you want, just call me Gil. Okay, Gil. I wanted to let you know that I meant what I said before, about making sure nothing happens to Alette. Ivor seems to think you're pretty good. We can just sort of ignore the implication of what he's saying. Okay. You're protective of Alette, huh? Well, I don't want her to get hurt. You can see his cheeks turn bright red. Don't worry, she can take care of herself, too. I know, I didn't mean... Easy, Gil. I know what you meant. Ivor seems to think you're pretty good. Did he say that? That's good. I'm trying. Never had to fight anything like Dredge before, but... I don't have much else to do, and how many people get to train with a Varl? Just seems like I could be of help to someone. That's what I want to be. He's gonna die. I've never seen a shield like that before. Yeah, I doubt there's many. My father made this. It's solid metal, really heavy. But I've been practicing with it since I was a kid, so he's gonna be like Super Saiyan when he takes the shield off. I used to spend a lot of time just getting used to lifting it. He raises it up to show you. I'm pretty good with it now. It's the only thing of my father's I have left. Then when my mother died, she gave it to me before she died. Okay, I'm heading back to camp. Stay strong. I will. Oh, and if you need something, let me know. I can do anything you need. Between you and Ivor, we're going to be okay. I can tell. You've never played this game before. Okay. Well, with dwindling supplies, we cannot afford to rest, and our morale is not terrible. Let's push on. Pausing to catch your breath, because we just broke camp, you glance backward to see the caravan stretched out past the point of safety. They're spaced out so far you're unable to see those bringing up the rear. We've got to pull them together, says Ivor. It'd be dangerous to stop until at least the godstone. The path should be just ahead. Rally the caravan with a speech. You make your way to the rear and hoist a small child onto your shoulders. Fight for every step. Remember those who didn't make it and push onwards. The clansmen see your effort and follow suit, pushing themselves harder. There's one day of supplies gone. And now we happen upon the godstone. Far enough for today, I think. After a day of misery, men and women drop their meager possessions beneath the godstone of Hridvaldir. What are we doing? We just left our homes because suddenly there were Dredge. Chieftain did what I suggested, and look what he got for it. Look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. That's you, Rook. But you're the Dredge killer around here. I mean, none of these is a very good, manly sort of option, but it's not like this dialogue in particular seems to have much effect. You're the Dredge killer around here. Yeah, a Varl. They want to listen to someone who looks like them. What about Oddleif? Let her, if that's easier for you. Well, what if we run into more Dredge? I mean, when? I'll be honest with you, these men can't take on Dredge by themselves. I expect we'll lose 2 for every slag we take down. So we run? Only if you want to lose women and children. We're gonna have to fight, and there are gonna be deaths. Gods be damned. Why is this happening? Think of how I feel. I'm stuck nursing a bunch of weaklings. You do care, I can tell. Feh. Men are a plague on the world, worse than any dredge as far as I can tell. Chats like this are why we get along so well, Ivor. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to an eternally bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. The godstone looms overhead, the massive eyes of Herdvaldir looking the same direction as you. Inspect the stone. The weathered stone doesn't see many visitors, not much reason to travel so far east. When hunters come through, they sometimes stop to give offerings, out of habit more than anything else now that the gods are dead. Herdvaldir was the god of hunters and of wild beasts, occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. He was always depicted in effigy with his terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about his woods being full of dredge now. A young girl from the caravan approaches you. I made this for you, she says, handing you a crude necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama, she says before running back to her tent. Back at your tent, you rouse Alette, who clings to your arm until she's completely awake. Bad dreams. Eventually the camp is broken down, and it's time to move on to Frostfeller. It feels like an end more than a start. Hooray, we've got another item. We lost a day of supplies resting here, though. This is not an auspicious start to the Let's Play, I'll tell you that much. The caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. We've seen the dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you a watering hole with enough animals to fill those supply wagons. An inherent fear of strangers raises mutters from the caravan. What are you doing out here alone? We were hunting here for food when the dredge found our village, says the man. When we returned? He looks away, unable to finish. All right, come along. We need the chance that we'll get supplies from them. If you'll be no trouble, come along, you say. The men cautiously join your ranks and prove trustworthy. The hidden watering hole nearby is teeming with animals, and soon your supplies are nicely restocked. We also get 12 fighters. More importantly, 18 supplies. During a rest, one of the men gets too drunk and ends up splashing mead in a warrior's face. A brawl erupts. Many thrown fists and a broken bone later, the instigator, Rafnisvartar, or whatever the hell it is tossed on the ground at your feet. Angry clansmen looking for satisfaction. His personal defense is little more than drooling mumbles. Tie him up until he dries out. You grab a rope from the supplies and make short work of the sot. A few onlookers throw scraps at him, but most just walk away with a laugh, at least content that some measure has been taken. Morale is a tenuous thing. We don't want to lower it if we don't have to. The caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostfeller with beds and fresh supplies. The locals here are shocked by the news you bring and discuss it amongst themselves while you set up nearby. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is come to the market. Let's see what we got. Statue of the Sightless Man. 20% dodge of strength attacks, plus 2 strength. That's really good. Iron bands, I think I want those. That's plus 1 strength for only 5. Lightning runestone, 10% chance. The obsidian bell, 3% or plus 3 armor on rest, plus 2 drawing aggro, and plus 1 strength. So usually when you rest, you just rest, and you get a point of your willpower back. But having this item would give me 3 armor when I rest. The thing is, though, that once you get right into the middle of combat, you don't really have time to rest. So that's not necessarily good. And this is plus 2 armor. Now that would be good. It requires a level 3, though. I mean, this thing requires a level 5. That's ridiculous. So does this. So, we couldn't use this. I think I'm going to use a lot of my points to get food anyway. So I still got 45. Let's go ahead and do that. I will definitely buy these. It gives me 40 left, so I can go to my heroes. Now let's look at this rune. This is a level 2 rune. Plus 15% to dodge strength attacks. That would be good for maybe Oddleif? I want to give Ivor this. Although, maybe giving it to Egil would be a better idea. Because he has less. So it would make him more effective. But Ivor here is not getting any kills. So, since he's the main guy... Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 promotions. Now Rook is going to be promoted to rank 3, which means it's going to cost me 10 instead of 5. So if I upgrade everyone, I'll still have 20 left. So let's do that. Upgrade Rook. Put another point into his defense. Let's put a point into his break. And then next time around I'll focus on something else. Focusing on willpower would actually be a good idea. Now that he can do 2, he's going to use up his willpower rather quickly. So maybe I don't want to use it here. Yeah, let's wait until the enemies get a lot tougher. So I'll put it here instead. Okay, and then we'll also give him the dodging, a bonus. Okay. So, Alette. She will need armor. And that. Egil. No, let's put it into his strength. I could max out his strength, actually. Yeah, because I've got that ability that gives him extra armor, let's go ahead and just put in some strength to get him as a more effective fighter. Okay, I've never had him before, so I don't know what he's going to be really good for. Okay, I think that's good enough. We've got 13 days of supplies. I thought I bought 12, or up to 12. I guess it'll, once we go through here, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with this game, but we need to push on. We've got enough supplies now, we don't have to worry. How far are we? We should be halfway there. Yeah, okay. So we're still very far away. Let's look at Skogar here. The descendants of Sten, unable to cultivate good yields or find much fish in the frozen murk of Ba Harbor, nevertheless scratched out a living from the beasts of the forest, where they erected a stone to Hridvaldir, patron of hunters, and we are heading to Frostvellir. Once sitting upon the bank of a wide lake, when the Nordfelling turned to a waste, the city of Frostvellir became a tattered bastion, blasted by the freezing winds that roll through the valley. Those who live here still are not known for their hospitality. Yeah, so this whole area used to be a lake, and it drained. The Nordfelling wastes. The Nordfelling were not always wastes. At one time a lake sprawled for hundreds of miles until the land cracked beneath it, and the water drained over generations, leaving a featureless frozen desert. Within, curious explorers found the remains of the godstone Radormir, and wondered how it got there. Okay, let's go. Okay. You're only just outside the village when 2 men in red approach. "My name is Hogan," says one, gesturing to the other. "My brother is Mogan. Many from the village wish to join you to Frostvellir." A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. "Shut your mouth, Hogan," he screams. What's going on? These bastards don't speak for us. They've been trying to divide the village since you got here. True, you can keep whoever wants to stay and die. The rest of us will go with the reasonable people of Skogar. I'll have you both gutted before I let half the village desert. Behind the angry villager, a mob of armed thugs have appeared, all furrowed brows and nervous stares. You both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. You're making a mistake. But I'm going to let them work this out on their own, so I will say nothing. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you got two choices. Get back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Mogan, what do you say? Thought it was unfair that he only asked me. Mogan draws his axe slowly, followed by Hogan. Despite their confidence, the brothers are significantly outnumbered. I think I make a poor farmer. Don't get involved. Yeah, don't get involved. Settle this yourselves. You step back as one of the thugs lunges forward and is caught in the ribs by Hogan's axe. The air soon rings with the sound of screams and axe heads against shields. 4 men lie dead on the ground before the others run. You hurt, Mogan? No, we should have done that years ago. Nah, can't go around killing for no good reason. This was a good reason. So we now have the twin brother warriors. The brothers head back into the village, and soon many of the villagers have joined your caravan. Hogan introduces you to his young son and wife, all grins, unconcerned about the fact that you never agreed to let them come. You don't bother arguing. Before long, you set out again. Now they have a thing where I believe both of them... Morale is poor, come on. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distant since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleif approaches you both. Well, now that we've got extra supplies, we can afford to rest and raise morale again. Alette, I have something for you. Oddleif has gathered up the long banner from the caravan, and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skogar. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Ooh, Before you can comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? I don't know. Oh, then that means you're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Oddleif has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skogar throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in every town. I wish she were here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? So she doesn't have to deal with all of this, Dredge, leaving home, and... Why didn't you stop those men from killing each other in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. Because I knew they'd win and they'd come with me. It wasn't my decision to make. Deciding what happens to other people, I'm glad I'm not you. I wouldn't know what to do. It's not exactly my calling, either. Yeah, I know. Dad, I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. You spend the rest of your time together, sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skogar is your burden now. Okay, so we can afford to rest. That's good. How are you doing, Odd? I'm alright. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny, my father named me Oddleif before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? Be careful here. People look up to you. Or, I never cared for that expression. She's gonna tell us we're wrong if we do anything else, so let's try this. If I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook, it's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you? Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, if something happened. Your family, you should carry it. Or, why me? Why me? He always depended on you, Rook. It should be mine. I could carry it, but I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. Now see, by saying I vouch for you, kind of implies that she can't stand on her own anyway, that she needs the validation of a man to run the thing, so that's not a good choice. Let's just be indifferent. Look, it's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? What happens when someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. I'll do my best. I think so too. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is, my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Okay, so that entire dialogue, I've gone through that before, with different options. So, none of the choices seem to affect that dialogue at all. Oh good, our morale is back up. It'll probably dip down again tomorrow, so maybe I should spend some time resting. We'll make it to Frostfeller, so let's rest one day. That's not enough to raise it. I don't want to waste another bit of supplies, though. The thing is, though, there must be some behind-the-scenes number, because your morale doesn't just go in stages like the next one. I might have to wait 2 more days for it to be good morale, but normal morale, that'll be fine for getting to Frostfeller, so let's leave. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. They're not going to come back. You think you'll survive out there on your own? The men look at each other somberly before one says, "That's why we have to go. Out here alone, our kin are as good as dead." They check the straps of their packs once more and depart. At least they didn't take the supplies. They're not coming back, so that would mean a very bad choice. Complaints of Raffensvarder's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Raffensvarder's leg before leading him to you. Punishing him, I feel, will lower morale, but maybe not. Let's just ban him from camping near others in the future. You'll rest and drink away from everyone until you learn to control yourself, you tell the man. The caravan approves of your decision until Raffensvarder disappears one evening. When you finally find him, he is a corpse at the bottom of a steep ravine. He must have stumbled into it. He was a nuisance, but nobody wanted to see it end like this. That's right, I forgot. That was the bad choice. So, we're having our morale problem again. We'll rest in Frostfeller. Actually, no. I know what happens in Frostfeller, I remember. So let's do it now. Oh, no. I don't think I can afford the supplies. We have to do it. Okay. Let's... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna end this one here. The next part is kind of involved. So I'll see you then.